Meadow tea is to Mennonites what sweet tea is to Southernites? Today we're going to make meadow tea. I'm going to show you all what meadow tea is and how we make it. I'm curious, have you all heard of meadow tea, or is it a Mennonite thing? I know there's different people that aren't Mennonites that never heard of the likes. So I'm curious, is this a Mennonite thing or is this a country thing? Let me know below. Thank you, Bubba.
I got tea.
I planted tea in one of my raised beds. It's right here behind me. And it goes crazy when you plant it. So I actually planted it in like a container. And I had the dirt up to that, but the dirt settled, so I should really put more dirt to hide the container. So I'm hoping the container will contain the tea. Anyway, so this is meadow tea. I'm pretty sure it's kind of a Mennonite thing. But I'm telling you, once you get onto meadow tea, it is so good. There's just nothing that spells out summer like meadow tea. I'm telling you guys. So I'm going to show you guys how to make it. You hold it, so I'm going to make the tea in it. This side. Okay, you ready? Cut. 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 Oh, that smells good. There we go.
All done.
All done. Thank you, Bubba. Okay, I have a bag full of meadow tea. Pretty much clipped my bed here. Hopefully it grows again, but this should make a fair amount, I believe. I'm telling you all, there is just nothing like the smell of meadow tea. Seriously, it smells so good. And I have a feeling a lot of you are going to ask where to get it, and I honestly don't know what to tell you. I just know different people get starters from other people. I got tea from my sister-in-law, started my own bed. Not sure where to tell you where to get it, but maybe you could figure it out. Sorry, guys. So I just went to Faithful Google and typed in meadow tea, and what's the first thing that popped up? PA Dutch recipe. So it must be a Mennonite, Pennsylvania Dutch recipe. But guys, seriously, if you can figure out how to get a hold of this stuff, you need to make meadow tea. Anyway, enough said. Let's get on to the recipe. First step, just quickly wash the tea. I should have been bringing my water to a boil while I'm doing this, but I'm not exactly sure how big of a batch I'm going to have. So first I'm going to see how many tea leaves I have for how many batches I want to make. I'm hoping I can do more than one batch. So the recipe calls for 1 quart of tea leaves to 4 quarts of water. Now I know my sister-in-law, she would just take this whole thing and that would be the easiest way and just put it in and count this as a quart, but I really want the minty taste, so I am going to peel off the leaves. That'll take a little bit. And we'll see how many we get, and then we'll go from there. I am finished, and I have 5 quarts of tea leaves. So I'm gonna make 2 different batches. I'm gonna make a batch with regular sugar, and then I'm gonna make some for me with stevia. I shouldn't be on sugar. And so stevia is the only healthy sugar alternative that I can have. I'm not sure how it's going to taste with stevia. You could also substitute this sugar for honey, however you feel like substituting according to your health needs. But I'm going to make a pretty big batch with regular sugar. My husband just loves it. And it will also be nice to have a stash in the freezer for last minute company, or if we're doing picnics or something where I need to take a drink. And then I'll just have meadow tea that I can quickly mix up and take along. So that's why I'm doing a bigger batch with regular sugar, since a lot of people do not appreciate stevia. The recipe calls for 4 quarts of water. I think I'm gonna take the recipe times 4 and then just do 1 batch with stevia since I'm experimenting. So we're gonna multiply this recipe times 4, but the original recipe calls for 4 quarts of water, bring that to a boil. The big kettle is for the recipe that I'm multiplying times 4, and then this is just a regular recipe. This one will be with stevia, and this one will be with regular sugar. Okay, the first pot is boiling. So now just turn off the burner, and we'll add 1 quart of tea leaves. So plop that in. Make sure they're all down in the water. And then put the lid on and we'll let it steep for 15 minutes. Does it smell good? Oh, it does smell good in here. All right, so my 15 minutes is over. Now I need to remove the tea leaves and then just... Oh! Here, let's turn this off. Looks like this one's boiling now too. All right, now I just need to remove the tea leaves. Come on.
Mommy.
My son is so noisy. Anyway, I just need to remove the tea leaves.
Mommy.
And then let it cool at room temperature.
Mommy.
You are no. He waits and looks at me until I start talking, and then he'll start yelling. Just to get a rise out of me. That's exactly what he's doing. I hope you can hear me. Anyway, now I just need to take, see his voice? All right, now the next step is to take the tea leaves out. I have all the leaves out, and now the next step is to add sugar. And the recipe calls for 4 cups of sugar, but since this is my batch, I'm going to switch it to stevia and see how it tastes. I used From Healthy Mama's version of stevia. I really like it. I looked it up, and Google said 1/3 to 1/2 teaspoon stevia to 1 cup of sugar. So I like my stuff a little sweeter, so I'm going to go with 1/2 teaspoon. So that would be 2 teaspoons because it'd be 4 cups of sugar. Okay, here. Gonna help mommy dump it. Ready? 1. 2 and 4. Okay.
I'm done.
All done. You want to help mommy stir it? Just don't get your hand wet. It's all hot. There you go. Stir, stir, stir. All right, last step. This is so easy. Why am I even telling you steps? But we just pour this into containers, let it cool, and then we'll put it in the freezer. So when you mix up your drink, you take your frozen container of concentrate and then add 2 containers of water to that and mix up your drink. So, hopefully it turns out well. I will show you yet my big batch when that's finished and how much sugar I'll be adding and so on. Let it go, Bubba. It is hot, yep. All right, the second batch is done steeping. So now we need to remove these leaves. So I have the tea leaves all out now, and now I need to add sugar. Actually, this is the first time I've made this recipe myself, and it seems to me like it's calling for an awful lot of sugar. I don't like having my stuff so high in sugar. So I think I'm going to stick with the recipe. It does call for 4 cups of sugar for 1 batch. So that means there's going to be, wait, 4 times 4. There's going to be 16 cups of sugar in this. That's awful. I know it's a concentrate and there's going to be like twice the amount of water added then, but I guess we'll stick with that. If it ends up being too sweet on later batches, I'm going to take back the sugar. So just experiment with it however you wish. I won't be able to tell you until later, obviously. I ran out of sugar, but you know what, that's okay. We're just gonna leave it like that, and then if it's not sweet enough when I'm making it later, I'll just add more sugar later when I'm mixing up the batch. This is so good. Y'all have seriously got to make it. Granted, the stuff with stevia isn't nearly as good as the stuff with real sugar, but I'll take it, it's good. So all I have to do yet is let this cool, put it into containers, and then put it into the freezer. I decided for the second batch I'm gonna let it cool in here, even if it takes longer. I don't really like putting hot liquid into plastic, so I shouldn't have done it with the first batch, but I did. I'm gonna have to enjoy that for a while. So So if you're new here, I would absolutely love if you subscribe. Our channel is all about family life, lifestyle videos, DIY projects, how-to videos, mom stuff, so on. Kind of random. We try to post once a week, every Wednesday, and make sure to hit the little bell button so that you get all the other updates whenever I feel like posting more videos a week and I'm caught up and can get a few extra in per week. So thanks a lot, enjoy your Meadow Tea, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye. Can you sniff it? Is it good? You do it again. You wanna sniff it? You're a goof. Now you're not so good, is it? You take a bite?
Bite.